Hi, I'm Bilos. I'm a visual artist. I was born in Greece, and after a few years there and then in the UK, I have moved to Sofia. This is where I'm currently based. And my practice involves murals and illustration and paintings. And I also recently started exploring the third dimension with, like ceramics and stuff.
Good. Moi, je m'appelle Yannick Martin. Oh, it's not in French, right? Je m'appelle Yannick Martin. My name is Yannick Martin. I am originally an architect. Then I worked in the film industry. I made a music video and short films. I then became a graphic designer for 5 years also. And let's say like 3-4 years ago, I became a visual and street artist, making murals, sculptures, and prints and paintings, exploring all the media, I would say.
I started drawing, of course, like everybody does when I was a child. But then in the age of about 11, I think, I started noticing things in the streets, like things on walls, on trucks, on trains, and I thought, wait, who's doing this? Like, that's not common. So I started taking pictures of all the things, like every single piece of graffiti I would find in my city. I would take a picture of it.
So you knew somehow that you would make murals and paintings at this time?
I was not sure about murals. My perspective was not that broad at that time. It was mostly about being rebellious and just doing things illegally and just graffiti. It was graffiti and tagging, and I have an archive of about something like 500-600 pictures, like
of murals of street art. Because it's interesting. I did the same. But
you did?
I started like a long time ago, maybe to make photos of graffiti too. But I was curious about it, and I didn't want to make murals. I was not interested.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested by seeing them, but I never wanted to make some. It wasn't. And now I'm doing.
When was that? How old were you?
Yeah, probably like young teenager.
So it's that
as well.
kind of phase that we go through.
Yeah. I guess like you, we draw a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, I started copying the things I would see in the streets, and I realized that there are magazines, and I would try to find new magazines and videotapes, VHS tapes. And then, after I made my first piece with friends in our hometown, a year later almost, there was this really big festival that happened in Greece in 2002 in 10 cities, I think, and one of the cities that they visited, it was a group of artists that they were touring around Greece, making murals, huge murals. And they visited my hometown, and I spent like 3 or 4 days just watching them work and taking pictures and talking with them. And I was I was 13 at the time.
Did you manage to make one at this time, like with them?
No, not with them, but there was like it was a weekend, and on Saturday they had put wooden panels together for people to paint, and they were giving spray cans to everyone. They gave me 2 cans to just paint. It was like a beige and a pink. I was like, okay, yeah,
let's do it.
I'll use them. And I made something, and just watching them work made me realize, the potential that graffiti has, because then I didn't know about street art as a term. This came a bit later.
No, but yeah, 13. It's early, I would say. I mean, I came to this street art scene or things very recently.
Oh yeah, because you had a very particular kind of journey that brought you to this.
For me, it was like 3 years ago that I just started these things. I don't know if I told you before, but it's like it was in lockdown, and so it was not the time for me to contact the client I would work with as a graphic designer, independent graphic designer. So I went down the courtyard where I was living, and I made a mural with a friend because I wanted to take off my work from the computer and to explore another scale. And the next day, then the landlord came and saw the murals because we didn't ask the permission, right?
Really?
And luckily he liked it and he asked me to do others. But this was 3 years ago, my first mural. I didn't have a spray in the hand like at 13 years old like
but
you.
Sorry, but did you use spray paint for this mural?
Yeah, I did.
Spray paint, acrylics?
Just spray paint for this mural.
Spray paint?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
First time.
So you did have the knowledge that this happens around you. This is happening around you in the streets.
Yeah.
But because of your particular profession, maybe whatever you were doing.
Yeah, as a graphic designer, I mean, I worked mainly on the computer. So the drawings that I was making on the free time, they were printing, and I was like, it's kind of intimidating to change the scale and to use paintings on the mural. No?
It's a challenge.
And so that's also why I use stencils. To copy what I'm doing on the computer, but also to make the work easier in a way.
And
so
is it also because of Is it also because of the desired result that you would like it to be clean,
exactly,
and with straight
for sure.
lines?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. I mean, how do you transport what I do on the computer on a mural because it's clean lines? So then I started with stencil that I printed and cutted. And that was stick on the wall, and then I moved with the tape, let's say. But so answering the question, as like you, I did art since a long time, but I really decided to become an artist like 3 years ago. I mean, I was on the side of all the work I made as an architect, graphic designer, or filmmaker, but it was just like, I never thought one day I will just do that. Like it was, how do you pay your rent and etc. with that?
Yeah. Did you
That's still a question.
Did you have the voice of your father or mother in the back of your mind saying, "But how will you earn a living with this?"
I mean,
like feeling responsible. I don't know.
So, like 10 years ago, I was an architect, and normally, as an architect, you win correctly your life. But 10 years ago, I stopped to be an architect, and I started to be a filmmaker and graphic designer, independent. And my mom said, "Man, I paid you long study to win your life correctly. Why do you do that now?" So obviously, I mean, becoming an artist was not too much a change since I was already trying to make art and funding, having a work on the side or something to make art. So the problem was not about the money. Since 10 years I was trying to jungle with this, but it was really, I will do that only now. I mean, and
wow. So wow, it's happening. Like actually.
So it's just a bit by luck. And bit by luck. I think lockdown was a luck.
I think that many people tried
it's changed
to just focus on what mattered for them, you know, because everything was just flipped upside down. Life changed a lot, and they were like, okay, wait, what do I like to do? What do I love? Whom even matters to me? Because you know, depending on the country, of course, people live. There were different restrictions and. I don't know, I think it was time for many people to set their priorities straight.
But for you then, when did this start really? Like, okay, 13, when you were 13 you had the spray, but when did you really like put all your time and energy?
Well, like being a full-time artist, like 100% full-time artist happened for me only 2 years ago.
Okay, also.
Yeah.
Quite recent.
Because before that it was always about right after school in Greece, I had to finish my BA, my bachelor's degree, which I was not passionate at all about. It was in civil engineering. There was a lot of math involved and.
About the rod, you told me, building rods and building. Rods, making
all this kind of
concrete
theory and. There were some interesting stuff. There were some subjects that I really liked. But for me, it was all about, I just have to finish this. And on the side, I was just doing, graffiti a lot, traveling.
Like
painting
without permission, right? Just.
Not so much. I was just in the beginning, but after some incidents, I realized,
You got quickly some commission.
No, I was too scared to continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about this story? What happened?
Yeah. Well, I can just share one story that I think is just like maybe the best. Worst when it happened, but the best now because it was fine in the end. So basically we were just painting illegally with some friends. And we actually jumped over a fence and a gate, and we actually went into someone's land and property. And it was dark at night, and we climbed up the stairs, and our goal was to paint on the front of the building where people could see it from the highway.
Can we know the building? Is it a private house or it's an official governmental institute?
You know what I'm talking about. My friend definitely knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, we said, okay, this is my space, this is your space. We were like 5 people, including me. And we said, okay, this is my space, this is your space. Quickly, let's just start painting. My friend started painting. I was like super, stressed. I was like, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to press the spray can and make a line on this person's property? And they kept saying, you're up here either way. Like, if they catch us, like you're with us. What? Like, just do it. I was too scared. And
pink and brown, the same spray can that you had, the same color than before. The pink and the brown.
No, it was actually, yeah, we had planned everything. But they were having fun, a lot of fun. I think they were having even more fun because of my state.
Okay.
Like watching me be like so stressed, like come on, just paint. Yeah, they did their pieces. They painted, of course, and well done to them, retrospectively. And there were dogs barking and police cars passing by. I was like, oh, this is for me. They're going to catch us. And we would lie down. It was a balcony that had no bars, and it was at night. So that was another factor in the whole, stress I was in. But anyway, long story short, at some point police came. They stopped at the gate. We lied down on the balcony so that we couldn't be seen. Then they left. I was so stressed. I was like, okay, that's it. Like, we're going.
Oh, they didn't get you. They didn't.
No, they left. And then we had to just go around. And
that's cool.
I remember like jumping and just being, okay, let's go. And I remember jumping and like,
okay.
It was not a good jump.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, let's just get out of here. And we did. And then the next day, we stopped across the street taking pictures. And I was like, come on, I could have painted a piece up there. Now it's just their pieces and they're like, laughing at me.
Okay, that's a good story.
That's a really good story.
That's a good one.
It's one of my favorites. I think that was what really made me realize that I don't want to paint illegally anymore. Because even if I managed to be anywhere physically in order to paint, I'm not even painting. So what's the point? Like, I'm too stressed. Like, forget it.
It's not fun.
Yeah. It's true.
Okay, I didn't have this
an
kind of experience.
Story. I think. And then I had to finish my bachelor's degree, which took me like 7 years to complete, even though it was only 4. Normally it would have been only 4. But the thing with Greece and the Greek university is that you can just take exams until you pass. And you can do whatever you want in your life, just fail exams. And I don't know how the law is right now, but it used to be that you have a specific number of years by when you are allowed to still be a student in the university, but then it was something like 10 years.
Okay, so you did good. 7 is
it's
not so bad.
I managed to not be, kicked out.
Yeah, not to have your name written on the front of the building, like you made it in 10.
Yeah, the wall of shame. Many people managed to finish their studies, sooner or later in Greece. And I hadn't done anything related to, studied anything related to art in terms of university. But in the meantime, I was just painting a lot. And then some commissions started and...
That's also why it took you 7 years, if you were spending time making other things on the side.
Yeah. But that's where my heart was and where I wanted to. That was a priority for me over university. You know. Hi, Dad. They know. Then actually I had a good, it seems I had a strong portfolio and I was accepted for a master's in the UK because my BA was irrelevant. They accepted me because of the work that I...
So then you started 7 years again.
I was just 1 year, master's, yeah. But how about you? Sorry, I talked a lot.
No, that's good. I mean, yeah, I like to hear all this story. And as I said, I was an architect. As well, it took me some years. I mean, it's 5 years for the graduation and 1 more year for the, I don't know what you say in English, but to get the possibility to sign your own plan and project, like to be architect by yourself.
By law to be...
Yeah, and I wanted to do that, even if I knew by the 4th year that I will not be an architect because I like too much architecture and I don't want to have to make compromise making building, to make a living of it. I wanted to make these 6 years to one day if I have the money to build my house. So I did these 6 years in 7. Oh, like you, actually.
Okay, lucky number.
Yeah, guess so. And I worked as an architect 2 years in France and in London. It was a bit chaotic at the beginning, being fired a few times from the offices because I was...
Okay.
I guess it's because of confidence and experience and... But at some point I left the architecture because when you work for someone, you can't express yourself as much as when you work for you. Yeah. So I started to work in the film industry because my brother was is a filmmaker.
Oh, sorry. So after architecture, you tried that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in same time than architecture. I was making drawings for myself still, so doing art, I would say, and holding the light on some shootings. Okay. And so I thought, okay, let's try. I mean, my brother proposed me to join the team and to be both filmmakers making short films and music video. Acting, I tried, but you don't want to see the footage.
No, you can just tell us. Don't show us. But...
Oh, I guess it's the worst performance ever. Yeah, I'm not good acting.
No,
Did you try? What do you want to know about it?
No, I'm just really interested because I really do see that you have so many things that you're interested in. And it really shows that you really wanted to find your path, you know. But I wouldn't be surprised if you had told me that. Oh yeah, I acted, yeah. For a year.
No. Actually, it's not about. I would say it's not about looking at your path. It's somehow true, but in the same time, I always wanted to do everything. To try everything at least.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting as an artist to explore all the media, So, I tried acting just because my brother proposed me for a short film, but it's not something that I wanted to do, and I was not good at it. I don't want to think about it.
Music?
As well, I tried. I wish I was more, let's say, persistent, so it didn't work well. I had a band at some point, but no, I was not good. And so all the camera, the light for some shootings, and then we made some first medium short film, or like we say medium film, short film, like 20 minutes. Actually, in the film industry, it's considered as a medium film, and music video. And so during 5 years, I did that. It was good.
Oh, 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very interesting. I think architecture helped you for that, to manage a project, I would say. So even if you don't know nothing about the technology of the camera, you work closely with the cameraman, and you can learn from him and direct him, I would say. So sorry, if we go back to,
I keep thinking that you said, I keep thinking about...
Not about the acting, please.
No, not the acting. About how you said you made your first mural. So was it like you felt the need, there's a surface there, this is...
No,
what I see it all, every single day, and why not just...
Not at all. Actually, I was kind of scared, first because I didn't have the authorization, even if it was...
Did you do it during the day?
It was an evening, it was not especially at night. All the people around, that one friend that helped me to make it, about the people around, They were quite happy of us making. Most of them were happy. Some said, "Did you ask the permission?" But most of them were happy because the courtyard was not really clean. I would say it was a bit damaged by the time. So anything that will happen in terms of creation, painting, etc., will make the place better.
Beautify.
So because of that, I was quite. And the friend said, "Yeah, no need to ask permission. Let's do it." But by myself, I don't think I would have tried. Now it's different. I feel more confident. But first, I didn't feel the need. I had some time to explore more my project and to bring it outside of the computer. So it could have appeared as this mural we made, or as something else. I would say maybe a large print or sculpture make. I don't know. Just discussing with friends and say, and this guy said, "Let's make it." Okay, easy, we'll make it.
That's good though.
So
That's
it's
good
just
that
feeling your intuition and the flow, I would say.
Yeah, good.
I guess it's a bit like that every day when you make projects. You have ideas in mind, but at the same time you feel that this, I don't know, someone contact you or this situation happen. There is a bit both of things, like the thing you want to make and the situation around you that bring you to a certain path.
For sure.
I didn't want, for example, to be an architect. It's a bit the story of my life, but I feel like I didn't really choose. In some part, I didn't choose what I did, and in some part, I chose it because I follow my instinct. I wanted to do les beaux-arts, school.
Fine arts.
Yeah, but they didn't take me. Okay. And they took me in architecture, so I went in architecture.
Oh, okay.
And I love it. I mean, I think it would have been a mistake for me to go in fine arts because I loved architecture so much.
Well, it's very different world.
Yeah. And but it's a bit of following your intuition, and you don't choose everything. Like you don't choose where you grew up, where you're born. You don't choose the people you meet sometimes. So it's a bit of a mix of a lot of situations.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just don't know how your decision about something, how it's going to take you to the next thing.
Exactly.
But of course, sometimes it's a matter of having fun, or saying yes to a challenge, or actually going for what you know that you want, or sometimes what's proven to be what you didn't really want, and you figure it out in the process. But I think
there's things we want for sure, and we try and we make it. But sometimes some other things happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are a few things that are maybe obvious, or some that are a bit more subtle and subconscious, because sometimes you have a goal, and if you see that this goal is not being satisfied, then maybe slowly you start thinking that maybe I should stop doing this, like it's not leading anywhere. Maybe if you're much younger, this will take longer to realize, because you're like, oh, I still have patience, I still have strength, I'm not gonna give up, and so on and so forth.
But also we like very much what we do, so when it starts to be wrong or to not work as we want, like we know that it's not gonna work. I'm thinking about a recent collaboration. I wanted to make it happen, and I saw that it was not going to be easy. I knew it, and then I saw quite quickly that it will not happen, even if I wanted, because the elements are not there. People make it complicated. They change their mind. So now we see it, and when we don't like it or don't feel it, we say no. Like we arrive to identify it. Experience is just growing, and you learn from things that didn't go well or from mistakes, and then when the next thing comes along your way, you're more experienced, and I guess that means that you can actually be more alert and see some things that you can correct and carry on, or maybe you can stop. Yeah, at the same time, all the projects are not always easy, so we challenge it and we see. Of course, there is excitement when you get an email or someone talks to you about an idea they have, but over the years I've just realized that until I complete a project, I shouldn't
jump from excitement because there's this opportunity for me, because there have been disappointments as well. I mean, that's
you never know
reality.
until the end. Yeah,
I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah, how it will end up, for sure.
I can imagine someone growing up now and wanting to be an artist, and maybe they do feel this pressure to just put everything out there, publish everything, show how active
That's
you
so
are.
true.
And sometimes, just because you're going to delete something doesn't mean that someone else doesn't have it in their possession because they saved it or they screenshot it or whatever. And I think it's harder now to present yourself just as you would like.
Do you delete some project from your website or from your account?
You mean to do something but not to delete?
Delete.
Delete, yeah. I have deleted many posts from Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, I do this.
Then I realized there's this archive. You can archive something, you don't have to delete it. But yes, I've been hiding
So
stuff.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You teach me something.
But the thing is that I think there's a lot of pressure right now. A lot of pressure to just be super active. There's a lot of competition. If you don't post something for let's say a week, maybe people forget about you or whatever. It's a really long conversation, I think. This one.
And it's about creativity. It's not always easy to be creative. On my side, I have some murals that I need to do in 1 week or two. Back to France. Sometimes you just have to do it, but you don't know what to do, and you will not, because you have to do it at this time, it will not be as you want it because you don't have the time to let it
to prepare
it, to think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just go very fast to.
Yeah.
Don't have always all the time you want to be creative and to develop your.
Yeah, and different people are creative and inspired in different ways. So why would we all need to just run this race of you have to show something new every single day and follow this chaotic pace? What if I want to just pose for a month or a year and just paint in my studio and just not care about people's opinion?
It made me think about. I had a discussion some months before with an artist, Derek Smith. I don't know if you know him. It's a painter from Ireland, Derek Smith. It's a great painter, and he said, everybody today try to have a very clean Instagram account with bright light, nice pictures, etc. Instead of just putting the footage of the work you will not sell or exhibit.
Oh yeah.
And everybody try to have this same slick, instead of showing the bad part of the mistakes, etc. Yeah, there's two things that come to my mind. I think first I like very much this land art artists that buy a big piece of land and do I don't know if you know, I forgot the name, but he did how do you say that in English? But he created a kind of labyrinth.
Okay.
Made of straight lines built in concrete.
Oh, in concrete?
In a piece of land it's a completely immersive new reality, I would say. So one of the things that I would like to do if I had the money for it's buying a lot of space and imagine an immersive architecture space, I would say. Yeah. Something else I would love to build a house or a construction, but if you have the money, then you can really push far the idea of architecture and construction. Instead of just making a nice, clean, affordable houses, even. But if you have money, I guess you can. I would love to go back to architecture. Cool. I love this architect as well. I think he's an architect. I mean, he's an artist, but I'm sure he was an architect. He's called Arne Kinsey. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Arne Kinsey. Okay. And first he was building some structures made of wood, mainly red, giant sculpture that was just there for a short time. Now his painting is inspired by the nature in this garden, so he's making big pictures of floral composition.
Okay.
But it's super. And so Yeah, I would love to build this kind of immersive pavilion made of straight lines, or I don't know, like trying to push my graphics in this kind of installation. That would be amazing. Why is this question? Do you have the money to make it? Like,
here's a check.
It's an invitation, right?
Well, I do have something that's like a dream, you know, for quite some time now. It's again about having enough space to create it. Something like a graffiti playground or like an artist's playground. So my idea, or like vision, or it sounds too serious if I say vision, actually have a space where you have trucks and trains and buildings and whatever, and people can just go and paint.
Like an kind of underground space where you... I mean, underground by the mood.
The mood more, yeah. But for example, what if there is someone they want to paint on a truck, and I guess it comes because of how I have been as a teenager or whatever. Like for example, I've never painted on a train, and I thought, you know, what if there is a place where you can just go and paint a train, because there's a train there for you to paint.
There is a festival somewhere where it's just about trains.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
They didn't take me, but...
Okay. Me neither. Last year I applied, but I was not selected.
Try it again.
And you heard this first. Anyway, yeah, so something like, you know, like a graffiti theme park kind of place, but where people can just go and paint.
So why? It's like a Disneyland, but you enter, you pay an amount, you get some cam.
That's the thing. I don't know if you pay, or I don't know if like I make a profit, or is it a business idea? Is it an idea about a place where people can just have fun?
That's cool.
I haven't.
Yeah, but I like it very much.
I mean, there are places where you can go and paint trains. Actually, there are places like, for example, there's this train yard in Switzerland, in Basel, where you can just go and paint because they're like really old and it's like trash.
Okay.
Trash
Nobody
trains.
will stop you.
Yeah, they paint there all the time, like broad daylight. It's fine. There are places where you can find, for example, an abandoned, you know, van or a truck or whatever, and it's painted 100 times. Yeah, I think I would do that. And you know, I would invite friends or artists I admire, and then they could paint something awesome.
So you will invite me?
You for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
you're both an amazing artist and a friend.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Cheers with that. The guy that comes to my mind is Louis Kahn. I don't know if you know this architect, but it's an American architect, passed away. He was like, I think it was what I liked, that he was building whatever it is with the idea of time, or like the building will resist the time. Of course, he's known by all the architects. He's one of the major architects between Louis Kahn, Mies van der Rohe, Le Corbusier, etc. But he just died in an airport and nobody knew who he was. And
Wow.
he built some amazing things that express this idea of resisting the time and that are still there. You know, today we build buildings that in 50 years you have to refurbish them because... So I think this is a guy I would like to I would love to have met. Very inspiring, I guess. You know, I discovered Basquiat quite recently.
Okay.
I knew him, I knew a bit of his work, but I really read about him recently a lot. I would love to speak with him.
Okay. Wow.
Very, I can't believe that I didn't know him more before.
Yeah, he's definitely on my list of, you know, many people. But I don't know. Right now, if you ask who for me, who is at the very top, it's the Brazilian twins, the Os Gêmeos. I don't know if you know them.
Say again the name?
Os Gêmeos.
Os Gêmeos.
Os Gêmeos.
No.
They paint like yellow characters with yellow and red mostly, but
Oh yeah. I see. It's just because of my English understanding.
I
who
don't
they
know.
are.
I'm trying to pronounce.
No, your pronunciation was probably good. Was good, but
But the thing is that I met them when I was
cool.
13 at that festival. They were two of the artists that were painting there, and they inspired me for life.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
it's been 20 years, and there hasn't been a single thing that I've seen made by them that I thought, yeah, this is not as good as the others. They are just evolving and staying true to what they do, and they've done, and they keep doing everything from tags, you know, to just graffiti pieces, to sculptures, installations, anything. I think they are like at the very, very top. Yeah, easy. So, but they are two.
You have to choose one. I'm sorry.
Twins, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's very often that, for example, if I'm creating a mural or a painting on canvas, I really feel like I'm in the zone, and I know that sounds like something that anybody could say, but it's very rarely that I even play music, you know, when I create something. I do sometimes, but most of the times I don't. It's just me and the materials and the surface I'm painting.
It's the same, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's true. I don't, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that there are many people, you know, I want to listen to music or have something in the background or whatever.
It doesn't help me to concentrate.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Me neither. And to be honest, I feel like I'm even affected by it in a sense, because it's very different to just, sometimes I sing, you know, I'm not saying I'm a good singer, but I sing because I feel like it when I'm painting, or I'm like whistling or whatever, because, you know, I'm in that mood. And it's just, you know, this dialogue, it's me and the wall, or me and the canvas, until some neighbor starts saying,
But how do you do this? How do you start? Like, you put the pen on the canvas, you do some sketches?
On the canvas?
Or do you, like the last mural you made, how did you, do you plan them in advance? What is a part of spontaneity or
Yeah, I think it really depends. It really depends. I used to go to paint just for fun for myself much more often in the past, and I would just freestyle almost every single time. But recently, when it comes to like a really important project or paid project or a commission, or something that involves, traveling, and I really want to be prepared beforehand, because sometimes you might even travel somewhere, and then the weather might not be good, and you have even less time than you thought, and you want to be prepared and do something that you're going to be happy with when you leave. I still allow for little windows of freedom, even if something is predetermined because of a proposal or budget or the place I'm painting at or all these things. I really do allow myself to
improvise,
to be free. I mean, come on, yeah.
To create on site.
Even a little bit, yeah. How about you?
Also, yeah, I kind of prepare my project before. It's a way of, like, I'm thinking, combining the second question that was, what was the project you preferred recently, or what was the... So recently I made a mural for a social center. And I'm very happy with, and it's not always the case to be happy with the project I make. So this one I'm happy, and I drew it, like I prepared it, like it was a way as well to getting the proportion of the building, to be more familiar with the structure, because the structure was folding, and you have
Sorry, where is that?
It's in France. It's a social center, made in red and greenish blue.
Ah, okay.
I was free to do what I want. We had like this, I would say, workshop with the people that were related to the center. So exploring graphism with them, and after I had to take what they created to potentially use it for the project. But so I combined their work that we produced during the workshop and my research. But yeah, most of the time I prepare the project before making it. There is, depending of the project, there is some spontaneity or creativity on the go. But most of the time it's still because of the time you have to produce it, because you need as well budget. You need to budget the project. You need to know how to make it in terms of safety.
To have as fewer unknowns as possible.
As what? As
like unknown factors to sort out as many things.
Exactly. I mean, as much as you prepare, as much you can integrate the new thing that will happen in the project that you are not prepared for, and you can be prepared. So it's good to know a bit more about what you will draw and how it will be organized to make it.
I guess it always depends.
Like that, you have more flexibility to introduce, to integrate the surprise.
So would you still go like paint a wall for your own fun?
Yeah,
no?
Yeah. But
and what is like your approach? How different is the approach?
Exactly. Well, when I do a mural for the fun, I'm personally trying things that I will not try normally. In order to make evolve my way of using the materials, to make evolve the way I draw. So yeah, of course, it's very important. When I have a commission project, I don't arrive to improvise much and to progress, I would say. Sometimes I feel like it's, as we discussed before, you have to do this project in 2 weeks, so you don't have much time to make something new, so much new. So yeah, like I will go back to France in 1 day. And I have 2 murals that I've given to me to experiment. So I will experiment, definitely trying some things new, like using brushes, painting, dripping things, in order to decide if I want to integrate new things in the way I draw. Do you do that also?
Yeah, because even if like an organization or some organizers of a project, they ask for a proposal, it's very often that they also they won't be very strict, but it's just so that they have a rough idea about what's going to happen. Even if the design changes a little bit, or the colors are like not exactly like proposed. Most often it's not an issue. The challenge is also rewarding when you find a way out, I think, and I really like that in what we do. Otherwise I think I would be a bit bored.
If it was too easy.
We really do have a few things that we need to solve, whether that's what to make on a painting or a wall or whatever, composition, colors, that's the creative part, but then you also have to solve many other things.
So do you find a lot of time to make either a project that you will not show because they are experimentation, or either just to experiment? Do you find the time for that? Because it's as well a question like it takes time to try things.
I think I do find the time to experiment and to come up with my own things, because in the recent past there were times that there were no invitations or there were no projects happening in the pandemic as well. So it was about being even more proactive, because nothing was happening either way. It's not like it was only the competition and you had to be proactive in order to stand out or contact other people so that you get a project. But if you want to change your work, like try changing your medium, for example. Like the same thing you do with tape and spray can, try to do it with a brush and no tape, or just with spray paint, or not on canvas but do it on metal, or this will definitely give you something new to work with. You might like it, you might not like it, you might think that there is a direction that you should explore or not, but at least you tried. And recently I was in Italy and I was invited there to paint for a project that every artist was given a pillar under a bridge.
I saw this project.
And you remember, it was not rectangle, it was not flat, it was like some sort of cone. I had prepared for it. I had prepared the front and the back. I hadn't prepared the sides because
why not?
I didn't, because I thought I'll just do it when I'm there. And when I was there I was thinking, why did I not prepare the other sides? But okay, of course in the end I did it and I improvised, and I am happy with the result.
It looked good?
I'm happy with how it went. But even that was the shape of the surface, because you can paint on a spray can, for example. You can paint on a bottle or a pot or box or whatever, but painting on a wall and that wall being actually in that weird shape, because it was the first time I painted something like that, actually made me think of my work in a different way, because it was more
exactly.
like
There's always
sculptural.
a new element that.
Yeah, so even that helps. Don't paint a rectangular canvas, paint a tondo, paint a circle, you know.
And what will be the project you preferred the most, like?
Oh, from
what
all
you
the years?
made, yeah.
From all the years.
If there is one. I mean, I liked very much these canvas paintings that were either black with all the variations, I will say, of the
Many colors, but little
design
shapes.
parts. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
quite nice. Did you enjoy that, making it?
I liked it, yeah. Actually, if is it many little shapes, colorful, but on black background?
Yeah, there is this one and there's another one more pink from what I remember.
That one, okay.
Also,
yeah.
both of them are, for me, are
They look very similar, but they had a very different approach.
okay.
So for the one that is bigger and it's like black, first I chose 3 or 4 colors, and I spray painted the whole canvas, just like randomly. And then there I drew the shapes with black, and then I painted black all around the shapes. But the other one,
I think you drew inside the shapes you left.
I drew inside the shapes, and then I had to cut back, with the background color. These were fun, yeah, for sure.
But they are not your
Canvas.
favorites, probably.
Well, if I have to think like of something that is like huge and really important and I'm really happy with, I think I have. Okay, I can't choose. Okay, well, one of them is a whole building I painted in Greece 4 years ago. Yeah,
With
and
permission.
it was for a festival.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I think like 12 meters tall or something like that. And it was the first time I was painting something that big by myself. I did it on my own, just by myself, in 5 days. I think I was working for like at least 10 hours a day, and I had to go up and down. And what's very important is that I didn't have the exact sketch for it,
Always.
which was a huge mistake.
You just draw the side of it.
That would have been fun actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Why?
Because I didn't do it because I thought, okay, the thing is that it was for this festival, Art Walk, in my hometown Patras, and in that very building I grew up actually. It belonged to my family, but it was there was permission given to the festival, and I ended up painting it. So I thought, and I used to live in England back then, so I had to go there only for 5, let's say 7 days, including traveling. And yeah, how clever was it to think, oh no, I just want to travel back home and be inspired and I'll see what I'll make. That was ridiculous, yeah. I mean, I had a rough idea and a proposal that they accepted, but it was just, the aesthetic approach, let's say. In the end, I did it, and it's super important to me because I grew up in that building. I had started writing graffiti when I used to live in that building, and I was dreaming that one day I'm going to paint this whole building, and it happened. And everything I chose to put on this wall was selected carefully. And something very, very important as well happened a month ago here in Sofia, where I painted a big mural for the National Gallery of Bulgaria, and I don't think I've done anything more important in terms of, like where I painted and for whom I painted. Yeah. Did you mention the project?
I started mentioning this social center that I painted.
Why do I like it very much?
And about your flow and your process and sorry, it's two things together.
Yeah, so well, I like it because of the scale. So that's the first point. It was me being able to experiment and to draw on this big scale. And it's not flat, as I said. The building is folding, so when I saw and there is some windows, there is like, the architect drew this building and starting to take the dimension of it, it was a way of learning, and I thought, wow, it's quite complicated. How can
What's exactly the shape? Can you describe
so
it?
it's a long rectangular,
Okay.
but there is a long window, there is some stairs, there is vertical windows, there is an entrance with I would say a gap on the top.
Okay.
So it's
So it's not just a wall.
It's not just a wall, and so it breaks the drawings in
That's fantastic.
pieces, and so yeah, it was a challenge, and so in the same time I like it very much because it gave me this possibility to go back to some architecture in a way. The way I drew the mural, I found some answer in architecture to draw the mural, like how I will use the interior windows to make the building turn or this kind of. So the architecture helped me to draw this mural, and I was like very happy to be able to integrate some architecture in this building.
Solve problems.
Thinking about how we would do what I would do if I was an architect drawing this building. There's like, so using the element of the architecture and as well getting off. You know, I started to work using a grid, like either based on a square, either based on a cube, and so that was the first mural at this scale that was free of this kind of element that are strong constraint, right?
Oh.
So
and it was worth it.
It was worth it, and it was a lot more fun to get more free and to take this off like this element. So I had a lot of fun making it.
And about your process and about your flow?
I think my process, I'm getting a lot more in the abstract art, and I'm trying to integrate even more
brushstrokes.
Things that are not wanted in a way, less control.
Okay.
So this answer of my process, like I normally use either a grid, either a space that is well defined, straight lines. I think this comes from the architecture again. Like
maybe,
when you are an architect, using a curve, it's not easy. Like why this curve? Why this length of curve? Why this angle? And I like to answer questions before making a choice in a project. That's why also I don't use curves right now, because I think they are too free and I need to find the right reason and to integrate them. I will use them, I'm sure. But in my process I like to evolve gradually, progressively.
Do you think that artists are in general, they look like what they create in a sense?
I like this question very much, and when you see what comes to my mind is the architect, but it's the same for artists. I think when you are a big architect or big artist, yes, definitely. Okay. You are living the art from the toes to the. So I believe, at some point you become. Yeah, it's part of integrating your art in your.
Yeah. I guess it also has to do with like colors you prefer, or if you prefer something more minimal or something busier or loud, or I guess it's true.
Next invitation.
It has been a pleasure.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.